フェスタをご覧いただいている皆さん、はじめまして。神の塔で主人公夜の声優を担当しております市川太一です。
So if you haven't caught on, this is the official teaser for Tower of God Season 2. Now this came out a few days back, and I've been meaning to talk about it, but I feel like it's better late than never, because Tower of God holds a very special place in my heart. It was, honestly, the first webtoon I ever read. Like, going back on my channel and thinking about, like, the first webtoon, I don't know if at that current time the Breakers would be considered, quote-unquote, like a webtoon or a webcomic. So I would say the first ever webtoon I read was Tower of God. I have a massive history with this series. It is, honestly, it's an incredible story. And as you can see, it's incredibly long. Like, just Season 2 is like 300-something episodes. And, like, once again, we're still in Season 1 content. It's honestly just ridiculous to think about just, like, how much content is really out for Tower of God. How many seasons of this series it could have. Like, if it was properly adapted and animated and care and attention of detail was put into this, the amount of money that Tower of God could give to any company that was to animate this is astronomical. Because I want to make a hot take here. Or, I don't know if this is a hot take. Might be a cold take. Who really knows? We'll see. But I know years ago, when I was first getting into, quote-unquote, Tower of God, okay, the actual webcomic, before even, I believe, Webtoon even owned it, actually. Before Webtoon even had it officially on their site, I remember reading this series and being like, holy crap, this is insane. And then people started mentioning, like, did you know that the world building of Tower of God is on par with One Piece, or at the very least, it is the One Piece of webcomics. That is what I was always told before I even started the series years ago. And when I finally bit the bullet and I sat down and I read the series for the first time, I was like, yeah, it legit does have such a fantastic world that really just makes you wonder what's going on. What is the true essence of the story, or what's really at the top? It's kind of very similar to, like, what is the One Piece. It has such a nice journey and vibe to it. I love what Tower of God represents as a story, and it really is a phenomenal series. So getting into the actual meat of the conversation, which is basically, you know, Season 1 and how Season 1 was. Anyone that, you know, sat down and watch Season 1 of Tower of God. Oh, this character, Rachel. I'll talk about her in a second, but basically, we've known that Tower of God Season 2 has been coming out for a while. Look, we even got, you know, official trailer back, a year ago. Now, this obviously is just recompiled footage of Season 1, but we know that, Season 2 has been coming for a good long while. We just did not know much about it until now, as of late. And we finally got our first real look at what it actually looks like, which, I'll just let you see for yourself. It's brief little clips here going on, and overall the art style, I want to be honest with you, looks like it's improved a lot in comparison to what it once was. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love the art style of the OG Tower of God Season 1. It had some beautiful frames and background art and all that. It was so good. But I think that looking at the way this trailer is, it looks like it's more in line with the modern aesthetic of Tower of God. And let's get into that one. So, basically, this is a really simple page to kind of just showcase that. But, like, this is, the right side is the early look of how Tower of God's art style was in the webcomic when it first came out. Like, it clearly is really, it's a night and day difference in comparison to, like, a Season 2 panel. Once again, this is, like, from Season 2, this page on the left. This isn't even current stuff. You can just see how vast the artwork improved over time. And as the story has progressed, the artwork has continuously gotten better and better with time. Makes sense for any artist that practices their craft and continues to write and draw. But basically, it seems like Tower of God Season 2 is getting more in line with just the way the artwork looks with the current stuff in the webcomic, which I think that's great. I like that. I like how, the art has finally shifted to be more like that. And I especially love just this little frame here, this little fist-fighting sequence. I love this. Like, I'm not going to give too many details for obvious reasons of spoilers, but I really do like what I see on display here with this anime reveal we got with this teaser. It looks so good. I love the effects and everything. Now, we obviously got an announcement that it's coming in July 2024, later this year. So, it's really not that long from now. Like, you go figure, think about this, okay? Like, we're in the winter of anime 2024 right now. We have stuff like, free rendering and gushing over magical girls, etc. And it's going to be ending in a few weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks from now, or maybe even less than that, like 3 weeks or so. But basically, a lot of shows are going to end soon, around the end of March, this upcoming month. And then April's going to begin a new season, which is going to have, like, Mushoku Tensei as a good example, and, it's going to have Konosuba and all of that. And with these series coming in, it's going to kind of bide everybody, let them be satisfied, and then, summer's going to arrive, and then Tower of God Season 2 is going to air. And that's got me really excited, because it's like, we don't really know how long it is yet. I don't think there's any confirmation on how long Season 2 is going to be, but we don't really necessarily have to worry about content. Like, there is, as I've already showed you from the chapter pages alone, there's so many chapters that it's just like, there's no worry of content. It's like this. Here's a good example to just kind of state how much content we have. It might not be as long as One Piece, but basically, it is almost the equivalent of that. Like, there's so many chapters that if they really wanted to, they can make an easy 600 episode series. Easy. Easy. It would be really easy. And if not even that, at least 300 episodes. Depending on pacing, obviously. So, just all that considered, there's so much content, and I'm so excited for this, man. Because Tower of God holds such a special place in my heart, and I love this series to death. I really hope that this gets a lot of advertisement. I hope that this series is successful, because it's like that cliffhanger at the ending of Season 1, I know caught everybody by surprise. And let's get right into that. Anyone that, watched Tower of God knows about this character, Rachel. And if you have not watched the series, well, go watch it, go read it. You really should. But this character is probably one of the most devious individuals and one of the most hated characters, I think, in the existence of Webtoon. Rachel is truly just straight up scum. That is the best word to describe her, and I really just loved the cliffhanger we got with the conclusion of Season 1. It follows suit with, like, the ending of the original Tower of God, and so getting into, like, Season 2 content, people are going to be wondering, what are we going to do about Rachel as a character, what's going to happen, etc. So many questions. But getting into the actual details that we know so far, we don't really know what studio is working on this. Like, at this current time, there is no confirmation on what studio is actually going to be on this, unless it's, been revealed and it's not here. But if we go into Season 1 was made by Telecom Animation, and I don't think they did a bad job with Season 1. Yeah, there were some things cut here and there, but it was not a bad Season 1, by any means. It obviously comes down to staff and all that. So we'll have to see, though, how they kind of, deliver this. I mean, hell, I love Nagatoro, and they've done a good job with Nagatoro. I know people might disagree with Nagatoro and not like it, but they did a really good job. So I think they could do a really good job with a Season 2. I'm not really that concerned with it, but I'll leave it at that, though. Like, I gotta say, man, Tower of God is legitimately such an incredible story that has so much potential, and I really just love this little teaser that we got. It's obviously very early on. We don't have a lot of information yet. Actually, has there been a director announcement? No, there is not been a director announcement, so we don't even know the staff yet that's working on this. Very strange. We know it's going to be on Crunchyroll, because the conclusion of the trailer reveals it's coming to Crunchyroll, so I wonder if it's a joint project. I remember a few years back, I could be wrong about this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Crunchyroll made a deal with, like, some webcomics and stuff in Webtoon in general to be able to work on certain shows. So I wonder if that's what it is. Maybe Crunchyroll is, like, helping massively with the project. I have no idea, but that's possible? I don't know. We don't have a lot of information yet, but I know Crunchyroll doesn't animate anything. So it is curious that we don't actually have much of the staff known yet. But once we do, I'll definitely let you all know with a follow-up video. I just wanted to talk about this, honestly, because I love Tower of God to death. It's great, and I feel like, a lot of people that have been waiting for a Season 2, their wait is finally over, almost, and you're going to be able to dive into the story of Tower of God. Now, before I wrap up the video, though, there is a link in the description if you would like to check out Tower of God and read it for yourself. It's completely free and legal, so you won't have to worry about it. There's, like, no ads either, so, once again, don't need to worry. Link is in the description once again. You can check it out. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. May you all have a fantastic fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. I love you guys. Chibi out.